Hey friends, my name is Tammy Anderson Ward, and I am so excited to be on here with you today. We took a little bit of time off from doing our Facebook Lives so that we could enjoy the holidays with our families and whatnot. And now we're back for 2023, and I'm so elated to be here. Now, we have a sure treat for you planned at the end of January. Some of you may know this about me, but prior to doing the Energy Healing Conference, I actually produced another event called the Winter Homeschool Conference. And it was always held every year right around the very last weekend in January. I no longer do that event particularly, but we do the Energy Healing Conference. So this one is a conglomerate of about 70 different people who support those who are interested in energy healing, alternative medicine, light therapy, crystals, and other forms of healing. And we are all going to be there at the Ogden Eccles Conference Center right on Washington Boulevard in Ogden, Utah. And we'll be there on January 28th. And the vendors start at 8 in the morning and they go till 7 p.m. at night. Now, in addition to the vendors and the vendor hall that includes self-care experiences, educational opportunities, you can also book private sessions. Lumaceutical Light Therapy will be there offering complimentary light therapy sessions. You get a full light therapy session right there. So make sure you go sign up for that. There's all these different opportunities that you can do there in the vendor hall. In addition to that, we also have a full schedule back to back throughout the entire day, starting at 9 a.m. and going all the way till 7 p.m. So whether you are an energy healing professional, or if you're just a layperson that is looking into learning more about this for yourself, we have something for everyone. So you can go to our website at energyhealingconference.com and learn more. I'll also go ahead and put the specific link right here into the comments for you so that you can also see that as well. So there you go for that. I'd love to have you go ahead and click on the link and check it out. And if you are interested in getting free tickets, across the bottom of the screen, I have a scroll bar with my email. Go ahead and email me today. And if you do, I will go ahead and send you a link to register as a free guest of mine. For free tickets. Now, these are general session tickets that includes full access to all of the vendors and also the classes as well. So I'm super excited. This will be a sold out event. We're getting very close, but we do have some spots left. So if you're interested, make sure you send me a quick email. I'm going to also go ahead and put the email in my comments. So if you're the type of person that you don't want to type my email all the way out, or you don't want to worry about getting a misspelling, you can also go ahead and just click right on the comment there. And then it will go ahead and just take you straight to my email, and you can email me there as well, just to make it a little bit easier and simplify. Today, what I have for you is 3 of the speakers and vendors who are going to be joining us there. 2 are based in Utah. That's Marta DeBerard. She lives in Logan, Utah, and she services light therapy, Lumaceuticals, practitioners and clients all over the United States. And we also have Shelly Jo Wallstrom, who is the owner of Hypno Aminos, and she's based out of the Roy, Utah area. And she'll also be joining us today, telling us a little bit more about what's going to be happening in her class. She has 2 classes, and also how she helps service clients who are also not just in the local Utah area. So if you're not from Utah and you're interested in working with some of these people, you can definitely do that. Our 3rd speaker today is Kathy Watts, and she's based out of the San Antonio area. I met her a few years ago when we were doing an event in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and just fell in love with her instantly. Walked right up to her booth and was like, I need to know what you're doing. She's just an incredible lady, and I've stayed well connected with her. And I'm excited for her to also join us today and tell us a little bit more about healing your home. What she does is she combines a feng shui technique along with other energy healing modalities, and she uses it in a way that really anyone can go ahead and start using that for their benefit. Now, today we are on YouTube, our YouTube channel, which is the Hope Haven Events Energy Healing Conference. And we are also on our group and also on our business page for the Facebook page. So wherever you're joining us from, welcome. I want to go ahead and start off with a few giveaways. The first one that I'm going to do is a private session with me. So if you're interested in doing that, go ahead and share this video and then go ahead and comment below and just tell me that you shared. That will get more exposure for our speakers. And as a huge bonus and as a huge thank you, I'm going to go ahead and do a random giveaway. So you can go ahead and comment down below. Let me know that you're here and also that you shared, and we'll go ahead and be doing that as well. For those of you who might have your own business and you are interested in being a vendor, we have 5 vendor spots right now, between 3 and 5 vendor spots. And I'd like to go ahead and also share the link down in the comments for those of you who might be interested in doing that. This is expected to be one of our largest events of the year, and I'm so excited. I want to be able to connect with you. So go ahead and fill out that link. Hey, Shelly Jo, how are you? I see you here now. Who else is here with us? We got some more people joining in. Woo woo. It's going to be so much fun. So our first person today that's going to be joining us is Marta DeBerard. She's going to be joining us in about 5 minutes or so. And she has a couple of opportunities for you to continue learning more about light therapy. Is anybody that's watching, whether you're on the live or the replay, does anybody have a light therapy system? I have one, and I use it several times throughout the day. And also as a professional foot zone practitioner, I also have my clients do light therapy during their foot zone. And that's been really helpful, very instrumental in helping to allow chakras to balance, the energy to flow, things to be released and rejuvenated. I absolutely love my light therapy system. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Yeah, you were at my very first winter homeschool conference we were just talking about. I was reflecting on that, and that was the very first conference that I ever started with, and I absolutely loved doing it for many years. Now we decided to shift our focus so that we're solely on the Energy Healing Conference, and I'm so excited that we made that choice. This conference in Ogden is going to be so much fun. It's January 28th at the Eccles Conference Center. And for those of you who've never been before, I just want to kind of set your mind at ease when you very first get there. You're going to go to the registration table and do a check-in, grab your wristband so that you have access to everywhere you go. And then you can go ahead and start visiting the vendors, or if there's a speaking class, if there's a class with a speaker that you'd like to go to, you can go ahead and go into that class. And then what people do is they pick and choose which classes they want to attend. You don't have to pre-register for the classes specifically in advance. You can just go ahead and go wherever so that you can feel very comfortable doing that. I'm very excited about it. If you are interested in getting a VIP ticket, the difference between the VIP ticket and the general session is that the VIP tickets get full access to all of the audios from the conference, and they also get access to the VIP evening the night before, which is set up as a meet and mingle with some light refreshments. You can come and meet the speakers ahead of time and get to know them, and also many of the vendors also attend. So that's a really fun way to do it. You can also avoid the longer lines that usually happen very first thing in the morning by picking up all of your stuff at the VIP session, checking in. It's all easy and way good to go. So I'm so excited for that. Those are the main differences between the VIP. In addition to that, we also set a reserved seating in the very first row of the classes. So if there's a fuller class and you may not have been able to get in, that pretty much confirms that you have a seat. Also, a lot of the speakers choose volunteers from the VIP audience for all kinds of stuff, for help and support, for volunteer to come up and get worked on, right in class, all kinds of fun things like that. So it looks like our first speaker is here with us. I want to just share from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am for Marta DeBerard and for her team. The light therapy from Lumaceuticals has not only helped me personally, but I have had so many people reach out and just express gratitude for how much support they've been able to receive. Everything from, just using it with their clients as a professional, all the way to, hey, I didn't know what to do for this particular issue, and I've been able to receive support. So, yeah, thank you. Alicia says, I use mine every day. I do use mine every day too. Every once in a while, I'll need to loan it out. And that's when I really realize how much I personally am grateful for it, because you know how like sometimes you're doing something and it's working, but then you take it away. That's kind of how I feel sometimes when I do have the light therapy, because you really notice that it's gone when you don't have it. You know what I mean? My adult daughter was sick, so I loaned mine to her. I think she had it for about a week. And I was like, are you done with them yet? Can I get them back? Like, I need them back now. Kind of a thing. But my husband's a UPS driver, and he'll sometimes have back pain or knee pain or ankle pain, those kind of things, because he has a very physical, manual labor type of a job, and he just has really come to rely upon those so well. He recently started having a lot of back pain again. And then, but that's when we realized that we hadn't been using the light therapy. My daughter had the light therapy. He hadn't been using it every day. And that back pain came back. So he started using them again. He's like, I cannot believe how much these things make a difference. Like, it is a game changer. And so I know that Marta is going to be teaching a little bit more about what the light therapy is and how you can get it into your home. In fact, she's even got some deals for people who are watching today. So keep watching if you're interested. And then when she's done, we will also have our additional speakers. We've got Shelly Jo that's going to be joining us today. And in addition to that, Kathy Watts. So keep watching, stay in tune, and let's go ahead and bring on our first speaker, shall we?
Hey.
Hey, Marta, how are you?
Hello, it's so nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, same. And I was just talking about how much the light therapy really has benefited my husband, specifically with his body, like his physical body being in pain. So thank you so much for offering the light therapy to the world.
Well, first of all, can we just all put like a hands up like for UPS drivers, because my gosh, they like these days, honestly, if you don't get your shipments, or like your packages at Christmas, or just like there's so much that like the world is literally revolving around these individuals who do that kind of work for us. And so I'm so thankful for them. And I know it's super long hours because we have a UPS pickup here, and they come so late at night, and I'm just like, man, I just feel so bad. It's dark when you start work, and it's dark when you get home.
Oh, yeah.
And that is certainly one of the really important areas of our economy and our society that we want to support. And totally they need light support, because that's a tough physical job, and just long hours and cold, and anyway. So
yeah, as a matter of fact, this last month in December, he had more hours in December and actually January is a peak season for them too. A lot of people don't realize. They think after Christmas they go back to normal, but
everyone has to return everything.
Yeah, like or they're still in the shopping mode, so they just get more, or they got maybe some Christmas cash, so then they get to order what they want or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has been in sometimes 3 or 4 feet of snow, literally, where he is driving up in the Huntsville, Eden area this winter season. So we're so grateful. That's one of the things that he's been doing every single night is the light therapy. So
yeah, when you can apply light to your body, and just like put it right on those areas of pain. But then also I've taught you some other places on like, make sure he's sitting so much. And so many of us sit a lot. And then raise your hand if you're like like you have a job where you're sitting a lot, or you're at the computer. And so those hip flexors and that muscle, it's called the psoas, that comes from your back across in the inner groin. It's kind of a hard one to work on. And light is such an amazing thing to apply to it, because light increases the neural neuroplasticity of our nervous system, and then helps those muscles and ligaments and tendons be able to get the right circulation and work adequately. So it is so critical for those sitters, like the sitters of the world, which a lot of us have become sitters, to have that. So I love that. And then you're using it with your foot zone therapy too. Are you're using like maybe I know you have a wand that you can use, and then also placing that on the feet and the body when you do the foot zones. What kind of things do you find when you do the light assisted foot zone?
So I honestly feel, okay, there's three things that come to mind. The first one is things just clear a lot easier. I've had probably the number one comment that I've had over the last few months is, oh, I thought that foot zones were really painful. I thought that they had to hurt, but I feel so relaxed. And I'm like, no, you don't actually have to hurt people when you're foot zoning. If a signal comes up as something that is like uncomfortable for someone, it clears so much easier when I'm using the light system versus not. So things just clear easier. It makes my foot zone a lot more relaxing. And those discomfort signals just seem to clear a lot easier. The other thing is I can completely customize the frequencies that people are getting. So I always ask them, what's the intention of your foot zone today? And based off of their needs, that's what we literally choose in the light therapy for them. So if they're like, I just want to relax, I usually will either do like the master healer number 17, or I'll do the setting C for them and just let the modes go through. That's something that I learned that it really, if somebody's been struggling to get grounded or they feel really flighty, that's a really good setting. Another one that I really love is just the peace and calming. I think it's number 18. And if somebody's been struggling with like a cold or they've been around people that are sick, I will put the immune support one on for them as well. So yeah,
that's so awesome. I love it. You're becoming such a pro. So she's using like this. We have a controller that modulates the frequency, because one of the things when we talk about harmonic light therapy is we've really boosted light therapy with this. The light is sending in these harmonic resonances, and your body just receives that. So it's like yum. Your body is just so ready for that. I love that, and you are just becoming. I know, like a couple of months ago, you're like, okay, what should I do? And now you're like, I got this, I gotta figure this out. And I love that, because it is really intuitive, but we also, we have a lot of support and manuals and things, and we do classes. One of the things I wanted to invite all of the listeners to do is join our Facebook page. And I gave that to Kathy. It's Power of Light VIP. This is, a really great page, because we do so many classes. We do like 4 classes every week for our light owners, and we invite people like Tammy's audience to come and join and listen in, because you guys are such an inquisitive and interested and engaged group of people. You can listen into our owner training, because our owner training is free for our owners, but we also let it be free to guests like you guys. And so Power of Light VIP is awesome. There's actually a guide in there where I go through every visible light color from violet to red to beyond red, which is infrared, because a lot of people don't realize the power of green and turquoise as a light source, kind of what you can do with it, and play with all those different colors, and you can apply it to so many things. So that would be awesome to join that. And then it's just a private group, but we will let you in. You can say that you heard about it through Tammy, and we would love to help you. And by the way, Tammy, I mean, seriously, somebody called us, I think just a couple weeks ago, and they were like, okay, I had a light experience at a conference, and they were seriously like 4 years ago, and I have remembered it ever since. It was life-changing for me, and I have been thinking about when I'm ready to have those lights as something I own, and they're like, today's the day. And they were just so excited, and I was like, I was so, first of all, so honored that I have found over the last 10 years, 11 years, a modality that can be that life-changing, that just that 20 minutes we give people at your conferences is something that people literally, they're like, no, something happened that day. Like you've talked about that, like how even just your first experience was like, okay, that was a game changer for me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've used it in so many ways. Like some people think, that it's just the physical benefits, but you can do so many more things with it. I've put it in with my meditation practice. And I put it like when I am having, for example, I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety attacks over the last year. And if I have something that I feel like I can't calm myself down, I will literally just go do a light therapy and it will pull me out of it. Like
Yeah.
completely life changing when you have something that you have that you can literally use. And in 20 minutes, you're like, okay, you just got to
Yeah,
reset.
and I want to speak to that because like we have several eye masks, and like just putting that eye mask over your closed eyes, so it's really a relaxing and receiving experience. Like it's very passive, and it's like you get to just relax and enjoy that. And I mean, my husband's a psychologist, and he works up at Utah State University, and he's like, Marta, like right now, our freshman class, I think he's like the rates are like 30%. 30% of those students have been diagnosed or are working with a diagnosis of mental health challenges. I mean, that is really at epidemic levels. And I've had some family experiences with some people who've been really challenged with some of the medications that they've had to try in order to work with that. And a lot of kids end up trying different things to try to help cope, and you get into drugs and alcohol. And then the pharmaceuticals are also not a great choice because they're really a hard drug at that age to kind of figure yourself out with. And I just want to say that for me, light therapy is such an amazing tool that I feel like everyone who's struggling at all with that should be looking into. And I know that you're going to have some great help also with Shelly and her nutrition she's going to talk about. Light helps ignite the cellular metabolism. And so it really does make a big difference on your nervous system. Real often when you're laying down with the eyes closed, you can also put a pad of light on your adrenal glands because those tend to be, that firing cortisol, thing. And so when you can calm that down at the same time as bringing that nervous system into effect, I've never seen anything quite as fast as this in term. I mean, breath is also amazing. You can do your breath work while you're doing it. But for somebody like, people are telling me about their kids having anxiety attacks and things like that. And I'm just like, just know that light therapy in lots of different ways and modalities, and I'll talk about it on the class on the 28th and right at 9 a.m. So get there early. And I'll talk about why this is, but it really is super powerful. It's scientifically backed that receiving light through your closed eyes into those key areas. Your gut is a big one, right? People have a gut instinct about things, and oftentimes their digestion is part of their mental health challenges. So we want to talk about gut health. We want to talk about adrenal health, and then over the closed eyes, that's getting right into the brain and right into those neurohormones and right into how your body naturally adjusts mood and adjusts sleep cycles and really all those great things. And you've been dealing with openly publicly talking about some of the traumas and things that you've been kind of processing over this last couple of years, and this is an amazing tool. Light is for helping us process trauma because it helps increase the neuroplasticity of lovely things like our vagus nerve, which is kind of running through that jaw area. Again, another tight area in the body, but I'd say like the groin and right here are some of the big areas of tightness. And so when people have the jaw issues and when they have trauma where it's engaged into their heart and lungs, it's in their digestive system, it's in their joints, it's really lovely to be able to place some light into those spaces because light increases neuroplasticity. And so it's just a powerful tool to know about. And whether it's a wand that somebody's using with their foot zone or their hands or on children or dogs or cats.
Yeah, or the pets. I was gonna say.
Yeah, my dog is actually scratching at the door because he knows that the lights are on and he knows I'm talking about them, and he usually likes to be in here for this conversation, which cracks me up. He loves the harmonic light wand that we use that can do the same frequencies. And then of course we have our new helmet. And I know Tammy was one of our prototype testers for this, and she's ready to have one of these in her own home.
I know. I'm like, I can't wait to get that back.
It's super easy to have this cap on, and it's coming right down through that whole area where the vagus nerve connects into, into the brain. So it's super powerful for that. And that green light, green light has been shown to impact our pain response. So it can be really helpful for migraines and tension headaches, reducing the severity and frequency. So we have that right across the forehead. And this is also the area where people can focus better if they have better circulation there. And light is so powerful that the FDA actually has had to clear light therapy devices for pain management, for circulation enhancement, and you're seeing a lot more things with vision improvement, with with certainly with sports injuries. We're talking any kind of arthritis, any kind of back injury, which that's what we're talking about. Your husband, like, yes, absolutely, the lights make such a difference. And what happened to me? I was anyone else shoveling some of that heavy slop, and like I fell, and I was on my way to go skiing, and I was so excited because skiing is what you want to do in this lovely snow. And I was rushing, and my shovel caught the edge of my cement, and I kind of went like completely horizontal to the ground and then slammed down on my hip. I'm 54 years old, and a lot of times I've seen friends of mine at that age, if they fall, they're like out for a while, right? And so I fell, and the first thing I did was kind of cuss for one moment. I had to say one word that was just like, because it hurt. Like that was like so hard. And I bet UPS drivers fall all the time.
Oh yeah.
It just hurt so much right on that one hip. So I was like, I dusted myself off. And first I was so thankful that I have been using light, like blue light. Actually, you wouldn't think it because it's one of your more immune system benefits. Like it helps with anti-pathogenic response. So viruses, molds, bacteria. We use it a lot, like up the nose. When I flew the other day, I took my light wand, and literally in my rental car, I was shining light up my nose and in my mouth because I had just been in that plane with the woman behind me was like hacking off the lung kind of. And so I was like, I think I'm just going to, help with some initial stuff that maybe cut into my respiratory system. And if you can get it before it lodges in deeper, hey, you're great. So lots of research on that too. You can find that on the Power of Light page. And then anyway, I've been using blue light, and guess what? Blue light actually has scientific benefit for helping with osteoblast activity, and that's keeping your bones healthy. So near infrared light, which is also on this pad, you can't see it, penetrates all the way to the bone. So combination of using something like this for all those years, I know that's why nothing broke, nothing, it was just like I was fine. And I was able to go skiing, and I took my handheld pad that's attached. I have attached to, it's battery powered, and I attached it to another pad, and I stuffed that in my pants and drove up to Beaver Mountain, and it was like the most amazing ski day, and my body already felt adjusted. I felt really good. And then, I was able to enjoy that. And I was skiing with a friend who also in her 50s had called me one day, and she was like, oh no, my knee, I have a meniscus sprain, and I don't know how, that's good. And she couldn't bend it. She couldn't put weight on it. I was like, okay, she has the lights too. All of my friends have lights. So she's like, what can I do? I'm like, okay, wrap it up, do these different settings. And she's like, 4 days later, she's like, okay, I can go hiking. I can go, I'm like, I just love the healing response that the body has when you give it the right light, when you give it the right frequency of light. So that's a pulsation.
Look at all these different things that you can use with the lights. Like, I'm like, wow, I hadn't even thought about it for that. In fact, as you were talking just now, I remembered that I've been doing a lot more foot zoning lately. Yeah. And all of a sudden I started to develop this new little bump right here on my thumb. It's almost like a bone spur. So would you use the blue one, you think? For that?
I would use the light. And then setting 7 is helpful for, it's a Nogier setting that's been used since the 1950s in helping with excess calcification. So it's a good one if you have bone spurs or arthritis that's more like osteoarthritis, where you get.
Yeah, I never had that before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, where did that come from? But I've been foot zoning a lot, and I really use that. I kind of depend upon that area right there when
Yeah.
I'm
Probably just a little extra. And also, you're taking in energy when you're working
yeah.
on somebody. And so it's always good to have another way to kind of release that out, help it flow. So I like using light for that reason too. And I love that you're doing that as a practitioner. We're going to do an extra class on that Saturday for practitioners, because we have all sorts of clients. We have people who just want to like be the super mom that has all the tools in their home and and is ready to go. And my kids now, they have come full circle and they're like, Mom, why doesn't so and so have the lights? I mean, like, what is their problem? Like, don't they know why they're so good? Like, I mean, they'll say, my seriously, my 14-year-old will come home kind of complaining that one of her friends gets sick all the time, because she's like, she gets sick all the time, and then I miss out on things. I'm like, would you just get her the lights? Because why doesn't our family use these? Because my kids are spoiled and they think that you can just heal up super fast from everything. And I'm like, well, not everybody has these and not everyone uses that. But my goal is that every family should know about them, have them available, and that practitioners would be able to use them for themselves, so that you are keeping yourself as healthy as possible, because you're a better asset to all of your clients if you are, well lit. And then also that you can use it in your practice, because it just really does ignite the process. And whatever you're doing, it's going to help it work better. And that is something I've seen with foot zone therapy, with chiropractic, with massage, with naturopathy, with pretty much everything, acupuncture, you name it, light works with it, because really everything we're doing at that healing conference, it's all going to be about light in some form. And we're just very direct about light, but everything you're finding there, the crystals, the really great coaching, all of this is light. It's just literally light. And so I love celebrating at the conference that with you. And I love that, it's like a reunion for us. It's like a family reunion, because almost every vendor there, I'm like, oh, you have a light system, you have a light system. And, and they use it in different ways to support themselves and then to support their clients. And super powerful. I wanted to make sure that people do that Power of Light Facebook page, but then also know that I heard you say something, Tammy. I want to remind you that we have trials. So you don't have to give out your lights. We really counsel our owners to say, when you come up with your friends that need light somewhere, they need light on their spine, and they need light in their nervous system, their digestive system, their hormones, want to look younger, I mean, you name it, then we have a 2-week trial. And the 2-week trial, people get a lovely system at home. They can do everything from our chakra wands to our helmet to our newest pad called our booster pad. And you might notice it's really cool because it's red and near infrared, what's called a dual diode technology. So there's multiple diodes in each of these slots, and it just gives you really great coverage in a small, really easy to use, flexible pad. Like, think about this on your neck or whatever. So setting 7 could be really helpful for decalcifying the pineal gland. A lot of people are really interested in how to become more intuitively aware, and that's a cool one. It could be very physical, like I want to help my lungs have better health and flow. That's a big one. I want my immune system to function more appropriately. I want to help my neurological system in my brain, my cognition, things like that. So 2 weeks.
Awesome.
I come into your home through an email series, and I talk to you and tell you different things about how to utilize light. You get, great support educationally. And then you also can do a consult with us and know like what frequencies and where would you put the pads if it were you. And then at the end of that time, you can apply that towards a purchase, because owning our lights is really the most economical way to use them. It's, it really is pennies per day. It's a long term. We're a 5-year warranty company. So we have people who've been coming. How many years have we been doing conferences with you?
Since 2014, so quite a while.
2014. Okay, so like coming up on 9 years, and they got their lights the very first day, and they're still like, hey, I still have my lights. I still use them every day. And so they're made for a long term. And not every lights company out there in the world does that, but they don't do education usually, and they definitely don't do the warranty. It costs them too much money. And so we're a direct relationship with our manufacturer. It's his private label that is Lumiceuticals. So Lumiceuticals is light as a self-healing tool, and you can go right to our website, lumiceuticals.com, which is the other thing someone can put right in there. And I know Tammy has that for me. And then you can check out with We 50, because we feel like 2023 is the power of we. It's how we're going to come together and help each other by being our healthiest self, and then sharing the good things that we have with others, which I love that Tammy is sharing all of these things with Foot Zone Therapy, with this conference. He's bringing people together, because it's together that we're going to really, make huge strides in changing paradigms of health and really affecting people in a really positive way. I love the self-care messages we've been getting, but we can't just limit ourselves to our own self-care. We really, the last part of the healing step is to help others the way you've been helped. And Tammy is a lovely example of that. And I really value you for that. And, it improves your healing when you help others. You don't want to, sabotage yourself and not help yourself. So you want to keep your lights too, but you also want to make sure that you are sharing that information so that you're empowering others to do their own healing too. So 2 weeks trial, you can get $50 off of that. Everyone on this call can, by doing a promo code called We50. And then that gets you $50 off. And then you can apply your trial credit towards any purchase at the end of your trial. And it is super popular. People love this program. And it is the most effective thing you can do in terms of, if someone said, well, how would you help my knee, my hip, my back, I would say, use this at home for 2 weeks. Do it every day for 2 weeks. You can sometimes do it 2 or 3 times a day, depending on where you're working, and you will see some amazing results. So 2-week trial, there's lots of different systems. And if you need help, you can email me, or there's a way to connect with someone.
What's your email? We'll put the email in the comments for people as well.
It's marta@shinewithlight.com.
Because
right here.
They might have a specific health thing that they're working on right now, and they want to see what kind of research. I know you have access to all different types of research and resources for them to be able to kind of navigate through and learn. For example, I had an aunt up in Idaho Falls area that just had a heart attack. And then there's other people, that maybe they don't have a heart attack, but maybe they have a bone spur, or maybe somebody has, maybe they have a baby who was just born with belly Reuben issues, like jaundice or something. There's all these different things. So if they want to be able to reach out to you, they can just email you right there, and then maybe even join. I really liked your Facebook group. I'm in there, and when I have questions about my lights, or I'm looking for hey, what setting should I use for this, or do you think that this would help? Everybody's so supportive in there. They're it's a very big collaborative effort, and I just feel so much love and encouragement. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. Our community of light owners is one of our greatest gifts. We just really appreciate everyone, and they all have a little bit different perspective. And some of them are on the Facebook right now. And if they reach out to you, feel free to contact them. And we're all connected back into myself and my mother, Shirley, and we work with them very extensively. And if they are sharing with you right now, good chance they own a set of lights, and I know we have a naturopath on and a massage therapist that will be, Jana Moser will be sharing at the booth. She is a licensed massage therapist, and she'll be heading up a team of our volunteers. And literally, we give those sessions away for free. We don't pay our people to come. They come there to be really giving you a session, and there's no strings attached to that session. You fill out a little waiver, and if you're really interested in more information, we get back to you. And most people actually get back to us to saying, hey, I haven't heard back from you yet, would you? I want to figure out how to do this. But I want to say, in the last few minutes here, if everyone makes a comment about something that they think that light might help them with, or are really interested in how they might utilize the light, if they really sound interested in a 2-week trial and getting more information about about that, then go ahead and put your name in the chat that you want more information about this 2-week trial, or just about the lights to use at home or in practice. And then I'm going to have Tammy pick one person. I always do this, but pick one person that's going to win a free trial. And this time I think we'll do a free trial of, sometimes we do our wands, but today I think I'm going to do a free trial that has, and includes our nude pad. And if some of our owners are watching, that We50 will work towards $50 off of this new booster pad. But it will include our nude pad, it'll include an eye mask, and then it'll include one other pad that you can place on the body. So I like 3 pads. 3 pads just feel so good, or more. 6 is awesome, but 3 is really good. It'll include that, and then some basic frequencies you can learn to do, and it'll be a free trial. That's a value of $250 that we're going to give away free. And so Tammy is going to pick somebody who from the list of people who are hopefully writing their names down, because I have never figured out how to do 2 things at once. So I am only talking to you, and I have no idea what comments you're writing. But I do have a team of people that are watching that, Alicia and Dr. Holly and some other people. So they will help you. And then Tammy's going to pick somebody for me who's like, yes, I want to do this. And then we're going to give away 1 free now. And then also 1 free, if you can get there by 9 a.m. to my class on the 28th, I'm also going to be giving away a free trial at that class. Now, if you're somebody who's like, okay, I was going to get a trial, but now I'm going to wait and see if I win it. If you want to get a trial, get one. You're good. You got it. You can live in abundance. You're fine. But do come to the class too, and bring a friend, because maybe you and your friend could both get one. So let's see, Tammy, what do you think? Who are you feeling the love?
I can see one name right there, Shauna Rocks Anderson. And Shauna, I don't know if you're going to be traveling down to the Ogden conference, but I'd love to give you a pair of tickets as well. She is she's a sweetheart. She's been following our page for some time, and she even painted me a beautiful painting and gifted it to me. She's such a sweetheart.
Awesome.
So she's always very, very generous with other people as well. So I think sometimes it's nice to receive as well. So Shauna, I'm going to go ahead and choose you as that free
so Shauna,
trial.
You'll get that 2-week trial to use the lights every day in home with family, with yourself, with any clients, if you're a practitioner. And then, and congratulations, that's awesome. And I want to have you email me, and then we'll get the specifics to make sure that we take care of that for you. Love that, and love that. And then again, we'll give a one-way at the class, and then I'm teaching again another class at 12, but that's that practitioner class. And maybe at 12, we'll give away a trial with our wands. So you want to come to the classes so that you can get those, but also mostly so you can get the information to feel empowered. And this is such a lovely lineup, but it's like lucky Friday the 13th, because your next 2 guests are some of my favorite people. And they're awesome, and they're always so much fun, and really just a breath of fresh air and light, both of them. And my home, I've used the products with Shelly Jo, and they're really cool and awesome, and they work so great with light. And then my home is all like decked out thanks to Kathy. It's such a lovely place to be, and she knows how to help everything feel so good. And so those guys are both just awesome fun. So be sure to come to the conference, and I'm happy to help you in the meantime with light information questions. And thank you, Tammy. Thanks for using the lights and being the light for so many people.
Aw, thank you. Back at you, girl. I appreciate you. We'll see you at the conference.
All right. Namaste. Take care.
I see you. I love her so much. Do you guys just like love her as much as I do? Maybe not as much as I do, but I know you love her too. She is one of the biggest supporters that we've ever had with the energy healing conferences. Her company has been at every single one that we've ever done. So many of our retreats, all of our conferences. I just am so grateful for the many thousands of complimentary light therapy treatments that she's been able to do for our guests at our conference. So they sure make it a huge, like that's such a huge perk for people to be able to go, and they know they're going to be there, and they go get a light therapy and they get to experience that. sometimes again and again and again, you know what I mean, until they're able to get their own. So it's pretty cool. So thank you so much, Marta, and for your whole team as well. We really appreciate all of you. And dang, I'm so excited to know what to do now for my little friend that just showed up here. It's like, thank you for teaching me. I didn't have that 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden it's there. So it's good to know. All right, you guys, I'm excited to also bring on our next speaker for today. She's going to be at the Ogden Energy Healing Conference as well. And she will also be teaching 2 classes, one for anyone who wants to learn her story and more about amino acid therapy. And she also is a fantastic expert when it comes to hypnotherapy as well. I'm excited for her to come on today and share more about specifically what's going to be happening in her classes. And she'll also be doing a second class at our business track. So for those of you who are professionals or practitioners who would like to come to the business track, you can learn more about applying some of these different methods to your own business to help clients even more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Shelly Jo Wallstrom. How are you, my friend?
Hello, my friend. I am so excited to be here, Tammy. You know why this is even more exciting to me is that the one in Ogden was the very first conference I ever attended. I had just become a hypnotherapist, and I went to this, and I knew nothing about energy. And I walked in and was like, these are my people. I don't understand what this is, but these are my people. And it was then that I made a goal that said, I will be one of your featured speakers. Is that so cool?
That is amazing. And I sometimes hear that from people, but then they become one of the speakers, and here you are. You've been at many of our conferences since I ran into you at the Piano Guys concert that one evening. And it was so fun to be able to reconnect with you. And I mean, literally, we've been able to go to several states together, many conferences. I am just so thankful for you and how much you help others. So I'm going to actually turn the time over to you for a few minutes. I want you to dive into the material to give them a taste of what's going to be happening in your first class and then also in your second class. Can you do that for maybe 10 minutes?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just giving you a small little smidgen of a few minutes here.
Yay! But I do want to say I'm so glad to be here with Marta and with Kathy, because they are 2 of my favorite people. All right, guys, I'm going to start with a story. It's a quick story. 2 days ago was my mom and dad's 60th wedding anniversary. I have 3 siblings. 3 of us live here, and I have 1 that lives out of state. And we created this party so he could be here. It was a surprise party, and we were making it so that my brother could come in and nobody would know. Well, if you don't know anything, that on Wednesday, that is when the FAA shut down every plane. And I called my brother, and he's like, "Sis, I'm not coming. My trip has been canceled. I won't get there. I won't leave here till 8 p.m. And I said, Jason, okay, this is the time to visualize and to change your thoughts, because it could happen, right? That's my thought, is it could happen. And that's what I honed in is on that energy. Somehow my brother is going to be there tonight for my mom and dad's anniversary. And so I got online and I found another flight that could get him out, and he was a little bit hesitant, but I was like, I can get him there, right? With my energy and my thoughts, and pulling in all my help, right? All the help of manifesting, law of attraction, divine intervention. And so he got this ticket, and we're like, yes, he's going to make it. And then that flight was delayed 2 hours. So now he's like, I'm going to miss my connection. I'm like, it's still going to work. Come on, Jason, it's still going to work. And then he texted me and said, all the flights have been canceled in Denver. Not canceled, but delayed because of the storm. I took a deep breath, and I kept still saying, it could still happen. It's going to happen. It's still going to happen. So then they finally opened it up so he could go. And he was going to miss his flight. So he bought a different flight. I'm like, this is going to still work, Jace. It's still going to work. And he gets on the plane, flies to Denver, and he gets there, and I see that he lands. And I'm like, Jason, you got to hurry because you have 30 minutes to get to the next gate. And that was 2 terminals away. And he's like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, yes, you can. You can. You know, it can still happen. I got you. And but then I could tell that he was kind of discouraged. I'm like, it's okay. I got you. Go. And he's like, I'm going to try to get on another plane, but it's full. And I'm like, that's okay. You know, it's still going to happen. I can feel it. And he gets to the other terminal where the other flight was going. And he was like, second in line for a standby. And I'm like, come on, Jace, it's going to happen. And you know, he's watching, and the plane's full. It says full. And he was like second on standby. And, you know, it's going down. And just before they took off, they called his name. And guys, the look on my parents' face when he pulled in, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And it was the thought processes, right? It's how powerful is your thoughts. They are so powerful. And the reason I'm starting with this is because it's part of my program. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. And my program is brain, body, and emotions, right? And it works for both. It's going to be part of my main presentation at noon. It's also going to be a part of the business presentation, because we have these limiting beliefs, and what you say matters, what you think matters. So that's the first thing I'm going to be talking is working through, is getting you to see what it is that you're saying, how that's stopping you, what are those limiting beliefs that are stopping you from moving forward in your life and in your business. Hey, Shauna, it's good to see you on here. I'm so excited that you won from Marta. That is exciting. The second part is the brain, guys. We're talking about the brain itself. In the brain, we have these really cool chemicals. They're happy, calm, feel good chemicals. And when they're working, they're amazing. And when they're not, anxiety, depression, worry, stress, lack of energy, lack of sleep, cravings become real. And our brain says, I don't like being here. I want to feel better. I love my brain too, Tammy. And so we go out looking for something to make us feel better. Sugar, starches, caffeine, aspartame, drugs, alcohol, behaviors, too much shopping, too much gaming, too much social media. And why am I passionate about this? Well, my daughter, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more when I speak, but my daughter came to me one day and says, Mom, I'm tired of being a doctor's science project. She said 6 words. I just want to feel normal now, right? I just want to feel normal. And it broke my heart. It literally broke my heart, because I was like, I failed my daughter. I've done everything I can. I was so afraid, because I was afraid of where she would go. And my heart hurt, because at age 6, she was diagnosed with anxiety. And I did what all moms do, got her on medication, took her to the doctor. And so when she was coming to me at age 15, I was like, I don't know how else to turn. Have you ever felt that way, where you're like, I don't know. I can't find an answer, right? There's got to be an answer. And the reason this is so important is because she did turn to drugs and alcohol to feel better. And it lit up her brain. Because a lot of times those chemicals that we talk about are a depletion of serotonin, of GABA, endorphins, of dopamine. And it's easy to turn to a substance, legal or illegal, to feel that, right? And it lights up a part of the brain. In fact, sugar is more addicting than anything. In fact, they did a research where they had mice, and they had sugar and cocaine, and they gave them a taste of each one, and they turned to sugar, because sugar is like a pinball. Sugar is like feeding a pinball machine. It lights every part of your brain. And causes this addiction, right? So because I lived in fear that I was going to lose my daughter, I went searching to find answers, all the answers I could, to finding tools that would feed the brain. And the tools that I learned were about amino acids and how there are specific amino acids that feed those neurotransmitters. They're brain food, guys. You're literally feeding your brain food. So you're not feeding them something that your body doesn't know what to do with. It knows what to do because it's literally feeding the brain what the brain needs. It's a crazy thought when you think of it that way, right? And that is why I became so passionate, because my thought is, first of all, I got angry because had I known about amino acids when my daughter was just 6, she may not have turned to drugs and alcohol at 15. So I'm passionate to help that mother that was like me, that was looking for answers for their little children who is struggling with anxiety or depression or focus. What about that teenager? That teenager that is growing up in these last few years, I can't even imagine what that feels like. To be having that thought process of, living in the what ifs, or, being judged by social media, right? And it's hard for their brain to even fathom that not everything on social media is true. And they're struggling with their self-esteem, with their body images, with racing thoughts, ruminating thoughts that continue, right? Well, part of that could be that their serotonin is low. So by feeding the brain what it needs, it can help to reduce those feelings. I had my thought was when everything happened a couple of years ago, if I could have given somebody an amino acid that would help to reduce those racing thoughts, it may not have stopped what happened, but it may have stopped everybody from going out and being crazy and buying all the toilet paper, right? I mean, it's like, that was so, as you think back, it's like, really? It was toilet paper that everybody went crazy over? But by taking positive mind, it helps to reduce those ruminating thoughts and helps you to weather the storm, right? And what about the adult? The adults, we're here, we're navigating this life. It doesn't look the same. We kept saying we want to get back to normal. We want to get back to normal. And yet the only thing about now is the normalcy is there is no normal. This is our new world. But it makes it easier to navigate through this if you have energy, if you're getting sleep, if you're able to let go of the anxiety, the depression, the stress, that feeling of loss or sadness can make a huge, huge difference, right? I had this lady just a couple weeks ago. She texted me and said, what would you give a 12-year-old who she flips within a second and who is so emotional and crying all the time? And I said, well, it is winter, so our serotonin drops, and winter blues, which is also called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, is real, especially if you live in a climate where it's cold. I live in Utah. It's cold. It gets dark easy. We don't get that light that we need. And so serotonin drops. And the other one I would give her would be my DLPA happy. I would give her some 5-HTP, positive mind, and some happy. And this particular person had those because she'd already bought them from me. And I got a text the very next day. And she's like, holy SH ... That was her reaction. I cannot tell you the difference this has made to my daughter in one day. She said she's happy, she's calm, she feels better. And that is the power of feeding the brain what the brain needs. Guys, I'm telling you, it is powerful. Brain and beliefs, which are also emotions, and then the body. Okay, there's a connection between the brain and body when it comes to mental health. So what you eat matters, right? Especially when those neurotransmitters, those chemicals have been depleted, because many people turn to sugar and starches, right? Many people are skipping meals. Teenagers, they get up, they go to school, they're in a hurry, they're not eating. One day I was coming home I was going to the post office, and I had to go right past the high school. And it was right at lunchtime. And I watched all these teenagers coming back from the gas station. And guess what they had in their hand? Chips, large pops, soda. They had candy. And the reason they were turning to that is because their brain was missing out on starving, literally starving, hypoglycemia, right? Their sugar levels going woo, 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 right? And their brain's like, give me something now. And they turn to those kind of things to feel better. Yes. And so by literally feeding the brain what the brain needs, and it's simple and it's basic, and can make a huge difference. It's brain, it's body, belief, and emotions. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever gone somewhere and you're like, I'm gonna fix something. I'm gonna take out sugar, right? I'm gonna take out sugar, and yet the body, first of all, is like, I like this sugar, right? So it's like knuckling it. You might be able to stay off of sugar for a little bit, but it's like, oh, right? Now the brain, those neurotransmitters are going, oh, no. I need that sugar because you're feeding my brain, right? I'm not getting the food I need. I'm not getting those brain food. I want it through that sugar, right? So the brain is saying, oh, no. You're going to feed me sugar. And emotionally, it's like an emotional blanket. And so our emotions are like, oh, no, don't take away my sugar, right? Because it makes me feel good. It gives me that emotional support. What is the chance? And I'm not saying everybody, I get it, because there are some who are very strong and they can get through that, right? But for most people, what is the chances of staying off sugar when you've got these brain, body, and emotions, beliefs fighting to get the sugar, right? So that's why I've created this program, and it says Finally Feel Good Now, which is the whole program together: brain, body, emotions. I also have hormones. I have a product that helps to raise the hormones that can help to lower your appetite and boost body fat burning. It's looking at you as a whole person. It's so easy to see us as this single dimension, right? But none of us are single. We're all multifaceted people. And when you can hit each of those areas, it makes a huge difference, huge difference. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in my first class. And the second class, which is about business, we're going to be talking about those limiting beliefs, what's stopping you from your business growing, and just say yes. Are you intrigued? What does that mean? And I'm going to go through what that looks like, because when you're creating a business, it's easy to sit back and go, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to wait until I have all my ducks in alignment. I'm going to wait until I understand everything before I move forward. when you take the time to just say yes, when the opportunities come, you just say yes. I'm telling you guys, the outcome is phenomenal. And the reason I know this is because less than 4 years ago, there was no Shelly Jo Hypnoaminos. I was just learning about it. There was no Shelly Jo Hypnoamino Nutrition. There was definitely no book, right? Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life. And in 4 years, I now have clients in every single state in the United States, except for 2. So if you know anybody who's in Louisiana or North Dakota, please reach out to them. Because the reason I know this is I have this really cool map, and I thought, I want to see who and where the people who are that are purchasing my programs and my product. And it was so mind-blowing. It was like, oh my gosh, from not one to in less than 4 years, I now have it spread to every state. And it's cool. I'm going to bring it there because it's so cool looking. And it's also in Costa Rica. It's in Canada, in Honduras, Australia, and New Zealand. So that's what I want you to see is, what does this look like? What are the possibilities when you start a business? What can you do when you just say yes? Super cool. And it's going to be so much fun. If you haven't been to a conference before, this is a great one. Like I said, this was the very first one I came to. And I'm excited to go back because it was like, wow, 2017. I didn't know any of this. In when this conference was started, I didn't even know anything about amino acids. And it's super cool. It is so much fun. And there are really cool people like Marta with her great lights. And you get to try them out there. Kathy Watts, who is my my pink sister. We connected. And where I do the brain, body, and emotions, hers is how to do the same thing with the house, right? So we complement each other because I'm looking at things this way and she's looking at things that way. And if your house is a mess, there's probably a good chance that things are not going right in your brain. When your brain is feeling chaotic, then it causes the outwardly challenge of your house. So much fun. You're going to love it. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is that, oh yes, Shauna, don't you just love her? She's so much fun. The last thing is I also have affiliates programs, and I have wholesale classes. So if you're a practitioner and you're like, ooh, it doesn't matter the modality. My modality is hypnosis. Yours could be, foot zoning or body code or Reiki or whatever. It's adding the brain and the body to it. So brain, body, and the modality. And it works really good together. And together, we're going to share this across globally. I can feel it and I know it. And I'm excited for what's to come. I'm in the process of collaborating with some amazing practitioners. We're writing a book called From Crazy to Calm, Natural Ways to Boost Your Mental Health. It's going to come out by the end of May. And it's going to be for those like me when I went to the conference and knew nothing about energy healing. And energy healers knew nothing about hypnotherapy. And there was miscommunication amongst the practitioners. And there's also miscommunication from people who are either coming to the event or who are searching. And these miscommunications, it's allowing you to see that, you know what? There are great alternatives. When you can step outside the box and go, what is available? What can I use? And I'm not against Western. I have a great doctor. When I broke my wrist, I was really, really glad when I broke it roller skating. I was really glad I had a doctor to put my wrist back together. But it's allowing all ways. We've been blessed at this time in the world to have so many great things to choose from to help you feel better now. Finally feel better now.
Dude, these are awesome. I love the stories that you share because it's real people, real life, the things that you're helping people with. And I know that they help with all different kinds of things. So it's just awesome. So thank you so much for empowering people with the information about brain health and all of the cool things that you've got coming up. Like, this is so exciting to be able to have that. So that means you'll have that at the June conference if it comes out in May.
Yep.
And did you know that we have the calendar? We have the schedule for the June event. Did you know that?
I want to give me the dates because I got to put it in my calendar.
It's June 9th and 10th, and it will be in Ogden also. So, I mean, we have this amazing conference that's happening January 28th, but if somebody lives far, far away and they're not able to come, well, this next one will be a 2-day event. And it's going to, I mean, we have people that travel in from all over the world to come to the summer one. So anyway, giving you those dates ahead of time, which is really cool. I would love to have you share a little bit about what's on your website. So if somebody goes to hypnoaminos.com, what are they going to be finding there? And I'll give you I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to talk about that. Does that sound good?
Perfect. Yes. When you go to hypnoaminos.com, there's a couple things. First of all, I'm a certified hypnotherapist. Second of all, I'm an addiction recovery and mental health nutrition coach specializing in amino acids. When you go to my website, you're going to see it's going to ask you some questions and it's going to give you a chance to take a quiz. Go to amino acids, be your missing link. It's also going to give you a chance to sign up for this really cool program that is finally Feel Good Now. Actually, to sign up, if that makes sense, right? It's just to start to receive more information as it becomes available, because it's going to start at the end of January. You're going to be able to check out my products. You're going to be able to see and hear, find more stories of why this helps, what's going on, what this looks like. It's going to take you to some blogs to give you a little bit more understanding about hypnosis, about amino acids, about nutrition. It's going to lead you to my YouTube channel, which is Shelly Jo. I think it's Shelly Jo Hypnominos. It might be Shelly Jo Wallstrom, but it'll lead you there. And there's lots of videos that you can go to and start to explore. It's going to have my class in there if you're interested to find out, what would it look like to add amino acids to your program? And an affiliate link. So if you're like, I love these, I've used these. I know there's people on here that I'm seeing right now who use the amino acids. And now I'm going to share it with my friends, my family, and get a percentage back. You can do that. It's great. You get to see me, right? And the biggest thing is I want you to see that who I am and why I'm passionate. And you can go to Shelly Jo Hypno Amino on Facebook and join my program. Shelly Jo Hypno Aminos on Instagram. And I post lots of videos and lots of different things. And a lot of them are my crazy life stories, right? When life is headed one direction and what you wake up one day and it's not what you thought it was going to be. I just like you to see that, life is amazing. Life is amazing. And there are tools. There are tools out there that you may not know about that can help to change your life, change your children's lives, change your teenagers' lives, change those that you love. There are answers. And they're available. So instead of spinning the wheels and going, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to make it better, I just know I don't feel good, I don't have any energy. I don't have any drive. I don't have any focus. I'm having a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah.
And I crave all this stuff. There's answers, right, Tammy? Life matters.
Yeah.
Your life matters. And it's amazing.
I want to just share something, a personal, if you don't mind, just really
Oh,
briefly
please.
here. But I won't say which kid, but one of my kids, one of my adult daughters, was telling me, she's been struggling to sleep for a while, and she told me about her evening regimen, what she takes and what she does to get her body prepared for sleep. And one of those things that she does is she takes 4 GABA. And I said, 4 GABA? Like, that would knock me out. And she goes, that's kind of the goal. Like, if you're like struggling to be able to relax and your thoughts are racing and stuff like that, that's just really helpful. But how cool is it that she has a tool it's right at her fingertips that she can use to be able to help her? And then likewise, I had a surgery was it last year? I don't even remember what it was. It was a while back. And I was having some issues, and I had asked my surgeon what I could take to be able to help myself relax, because my body was like in this like constricting mode. It was very, very tight and tense. And they were giving me Valium. And I didn't realize that that's even an addictive substance, because I told them I'm a recovering drug addict. I've been clean for 24 years, but I don't want to do anything that puts me at risk. And so they put that in their notes and their files and their records. So I thought I was safe. No, not necessarily. And I was taking it so often, like every day for 3 weeks. And so just so happens that my son was in a car accident, and I Googled, can I drive while taking Valium? And that's when all this substance abuse stuff came up. And I went, what the? I had no idea. And I immediately started looking for alternatives. And I didn't even realize I could take GABA to relax my muscles. Like, what? Who knew? So it's an alternative to something that could be quite, in my opinion, quite detrimental, especially for somebody who's at risk for something like that. Luckily I didn't have any withdrawals or anything like that. And that was my last pill of my last bottle that day. But gosh, dang it. You know what I mean? Like, these are real people. This is real life, So thank you so much for what you do.
Well, when you called me and said, this is what I was doing, I was like, what?
I had no idea. Like, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I had never had any experience with that. And because I had told my surgeon, that I thought I was safe, but I wasn't. So I'm so freaking glad to be able to have options. So thank you. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to having you at the conference, both on the regular schedule and on the business track. So professionals who are looking to increase ways to be able to help people and also their bottom line, that will be very, very good as well. So thank you. See ya. Okay, you guys, she's phenomenal. And I am kind of hesitant to share a story like that because I don't want people being like, oh my gosh, or whatever. But I don't care. Like, that's real life. You know what I mean? So I feel really, really grateful that I have the people that I do have in my life, because quite honestly, there are situations sometimes that come up in people's life that they might not feel like they have any answers. And I have all of these tools at my fingertips. Come to a conference and look at the different options that you have. We are so much more into research-based, evidence-based, with empirical research. I just really love what we do. And then also the heart-centered individuals. And that's what brings me to my next speaker today that's just joining us from San Antonio, Texas. This is Kathy Watts. Love this woman so much. So please, if you're in the chats, welcome her to our virtual stage right now. This is the amazing Kathy Watts. Da, da, da. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. Let's turn your sound on here. Unmute.
I was muted. That was me. Use your air right there. That was me.
You're totally fine. How are you?
Good. I'm so great to see you. I just want to say I love your hair. You look beautiful. You look radiant. Just gorgeous.
Thank
So-
you. You're so sweet. I absolutely love that. You just made my day. So that's awesome. I want to just kind of turn the time over here to you for a few minutes to tell us a little bit about what you do and
Okay.
also how people can connect with you.
Sounds great. And I'm not going to take a whole lot of time.
Yeah, you're
I know
good.
people say that and then like talk for an hour, but I really won't. I'm going to be brief. We're going to get through this. You're going to be like, dang, that's awesome. I need to meet her. I hope you think that way. So you're like, come to the conference. Here's the thing. Everybody at the conference, usually they are, I mean, not usually, always amazing. Always, like you heard from Marta earlier and you heard from Shelly Jo. Since I've been doing these conferences, these people have all become dear friends of mine. And in fact, I integrate a lot of their resources into what I'm doing. And that's one of the things that you really can develop as you go to these energy healing conferences are those connections with people who are like-minded, who are looking for natural remedies. Like Shelly Jo was saying, yeah, we have a doctor, right? But you don't always need to go to the doctor for everything, for like a cold, or sometimes the medicine's not working. I just want to real quickly share. This isn't relevant to what I'm doing, but I just want to quickly share a story. My mother actually passed away from breast cancer, but while she was going through chemo, she was having a really rough time, and nothing that medicine had, traditional medicine, would help her with her nausea. And it wasn't until she went into alternative medicine, specifically acupuncture, that she was able to take care of her nausea. And that kind of opened the door to me, honestly, to this journey into this wonderful, wonderful world that we can experience and we can learn from and strengthen it, because it doesn't have to be one or the other. These two things can exist in the same universe. We can have a doctor that knows how to set a broken bone, and we can also have a practitioner that can tell you, here's some GABA that will help you relax, which, by the way, I love GABA. I take that whenever I fly on a plane, because I fly all over the place. I'm Sagittarius, so travel, check, love it. But at a young age, I developed a little bit of a fear of flying, which is funny anyway. But I still fly, so I take that all the time on a plane. Woo! It works really well. I gotta chill you out. All right, so let's get down to why am I here and what are you talking about? All right, so I really love to do conferences in January. January comes around and you might be feeling a little chonky, like a little bit, got a little blub blubs happening. See, here's my blub blubs, my little blub blub. You have little blub blubs happening and you might think to yourself, okay, well, maybe I need to like lose weight, or I need to check on my health, or maybe I need to, amp up my, my eating and stuff like that. Well, maybe you also think about this in the home. I'm all about the home. Maybe you're looking at your home now and you put away all your Christmas stuff, right? You've gotten rid of all that clutter and you're like, why do I still have clutter? Why do I have like this mail clutter? Why is this hanging around? What's happening? Actually, this was left by my son when he visited. But you're like, maybe you're looking around, you're like, well, I want to kind of refreshen. I want to do the space. I want to rejuvenate it. Well, I got a thing for you. Okay. So the theory of the home compass is all based on emotions. Let me just tell you this. Because the question is, why does the clutter show up in the first place? Why is it there? Where did it come from? Why is it there? Also, why is it that when I clear the clutter, 2 weeks later, it comes back and it feels like it's even more than it was before? Why does it keep coming back? Have you guys ever watched Hoarders? There's one thing that is common with everyone that is a hoarder, and usually, I don't want to say always because I don't want to be black and white, but almost always, it's a traumatic event that they have not dealt with. They have not been able to process the emotions. That's what we're talking about. So a lot of times, clutter is basically your subconscious mind putting stuff in a certain place to kind of tamp down that emotion, right? Because our brains sometimes think, or our bodies sometimes think, emotion bad, anger bad, sadness bad. Let's tamp it down. Let's step it down. You can see this in things like the body code and other things. There's that instinct to just like suppress. But we know when you suppress that emotion, what happens? Illness, disease, breakdowns, all kinds of stuff. If you think in your mind of a person who is think of it like an older person who's never really dealt with emotions, immediately I think you picture somebody who's very stiff, very blocked, very thing like that. Yeah. We want the opposite. We're going to go counterintuitive to our alligator brain back here, or lizard brain, that's all of the amygdala, the fear based. And we're going to go into motion. We want movement. Why? Because everything in the universe, if you think about it, is moving, whether it's energy, whether it's atoms, right? Whether it's your digestive system when it's working right, whether it's your circulatory system when it's working right. We want movement. Movement is strength. Tony Robbins always talks about when you have movement and you have emotions, you can move mountains. Same thing. So we want to create a home space that sets it up so that you can move, that your emotions can move, that the energy can move and not get stuck and not get stagnant. And then what we found out is when we did this, and honestly, when I first started this, I didn't know this would be a result. We found that what happens is your clutter moves. Yeah, I'm serious. I've had so many people who put this in their home and they're like, wow. And all of a sudden they're like cleaning out the closets. They're cleaning out these spaces and things are just moving when you put these in order. And how do we do that? We do that by doing the 5 element cycle. Yeah, where you have water, wood, fire, earth, and then you have metal. You put those in the right order. And we know, thousands and thousands of years we've known that when you put those elements in the right order, you're going to have growth. You're going to have movement. You're going to move things. And so then we can also identify certain emotions. So we can look at our house and we can be like, why do I always have a lot of clutter right here? What's happening? What's happening with all this clutter? Why is it right here? I'm trying to put my finger on the right place. Why is it? And then we can look, oh, okay, that's that corner. That is the emotion of I have a heart wall, perhaps, or I'm feeling indifferent, or I'm very much shutting myself off from people. Mm-hmm. And then our house becomes like a diagnostic tool. All right. What do you think? Does that sound pretty cool? Yes. It's really amazing. But I want to share this with you. One thing that you can do right now, today, that will help, especially if you experience clutter in your entire space, like the whole space you're experiencing clutter. This is usually the emotion in that case is when, when the whole space, your entire home just seems to be chock-a-block or clutter showing everywhere. You keep clearing it, it keeps coming back. It's right there, ding, 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 all over the entire space. Usually that has to do with feelings of self-esteem. Feeling like you're not worthy. Feeling like you're not good enough. Has anybody ever experienced that? Me all the time. Yeah. So one of the things you can do, which really can help booster, is to put something in the physical environment to remind you, right? Like we can talk about it, we can write about it, we can read about it. But what's really effective is when you can put something in your physical space that you can see every day to remind you. Here's what I always suggest. Objects of gold. It doesn't have to be pure gold. And I'm not talking like a golden throne or anything like that, or a golden toilet. I'm just saying you can do any kind of random object of gold, place it where you can see it, set your intention that this is going to remind me what? That I am worth more than gold. Here's what I use. Okay, so this is a little gold colored. Yes, it's a balloon animal. Yes, it is a dog balloon animal. It makes me laugh. Okay, so it's really appropriate. If you guys know me, you'll be like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. You want something that like really touches your soul and really hits you, that you're like, that is cool. Don't get something that you hate, because that'll be the opposite effect. Don't get something that you say, oh, it's gold, but I don't really like it. It's gonna be, you're gonna look at it and be like, So what you want is something that's fun, that delights your soul, that has that gold connotation, gold element of some way, that when you look at it, like I said, you set your intention where you're like, okay, this is going to remind me, whenever I see you, I want you to remind me that my worth is greater than gold. Yeah. Simple, right? Hard to do. Why is that hard to do? Why? Because so many things around us are telling us, or yelling at us, blah, 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 all this time. You're too chunky, you're too this, you're too that. And it's hard to fight against it. We've got to do that. We want to do that. We want to, and that's all about creating a home space that's supportive to you, right? Kicking all those voices out, kicking all those negative out, kicking all that negativity out, making it a space, a happy place. That your home space is your happy place. It's your sanctuary. It's your haven. And then you can have really fun objects like this that make you laugh. That remind you that your worth is greater than gold. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Tammy, that's about all I got. But I did want to say that I have a link. If you, if this sounds like interesting to you and you're like, yes, help me get rid of some clutter. Help me make my home space a happy place. Help me to get that motion in my home. I have a free 30-minute offer you can sign up for. It's on my Calendly link, calendly.com. It's like calendar ly. So it's calendly.com/healyourhome. 30-minute free session you can sign up for. I've already got it set up for when I'm available, and you can set up and we can just chat and laugh, and you can tell me all about your home. You can tell me like, here's my trouble spot, or here's my space. Or this works really good for me, or this or that. Heal Your Home is the thing. Calendly.com/healyourhome. I hope you will talk to me. I love to meet people. I know, right? I just would chat with you forever. You don't have to do anything. We just chat, right, Tammy?
I just had to remove myself for just a quick sec. So thanks for like calling me back over here. You're so sweet. I put your link up. I'm going to go ahead and also put it right up for you as well, so everybody can see it. I highly recommend this, you guys. This is such an awesome opportunity. If you haven't ever had that, to be able to hang out with her, to look at your house, you can literally do a FaceTime with her. You can walk around your house and show your house, or not if you don't want to. Because I know I was really embarrassed the first time that I had Kathy see my house. But she's like the most accepting, non-judgmental person in the universe. I have freaking 8 kids, y'all. And so I have acquired some things, but I have never felt judged, not in even a speck of a second ever from this woman.
Thank
She's
you.
just absolutely so full of love and light. And I love how much she loves. So it's a big deal. And so this is so cool that you're offering this. So let's see, for a free home healing session, they just need to click on that link right there, calendly.com/healyourhome.
Yes.
Shauna is saying she did a 30-minute session with me and cleared a spirit from my house.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool things that she's done for me. There was one experience I had when we created a life path piece right in my home. And I had a feng shui practitioner come and tell me, wow, your house is like really intuitively already put together. And Kathy was like, we just need to move a few things. And when that shift occurred, you can feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you really can just feel it. It's good. So thank you so much. And you're going to be at the conference in Ogden, January 28th. Can't wait to see you, give you a great big huge hug. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
All right. I love you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you then.
All right. Love you.
Mwah. See ya. Am I a dork when I do those blowy kissy things? Like, does that sound so funny? Mwah. I'm just like, that's just me. So, I'm just being myself here. So I want to talk to you guys about a few other things. We had 3 speakers come on today, but of course I'm going to be doing a couple of classes as well. And I'm going to be doing a basics, how to use crystals in your home, your office, your family, but also for your own self-care. That's going to be one of the classes that I do. And I have a really good friend named Mike Shirtliff who's going to be coming into my class and going to be teaching a few things about frequency with crystals as well. He even has a free crystal for every single person who attends both my classes and his. Very generous of him. He will also be having an aura camera there in the vendor hall. So you can go and get your image of your vendor, or an image of your aura taken in the vendor hall. And then what's going to be happening is he's going to be placing crystals inside of your space. So like you can hold them up to you, and then you can see the difference after he's done a little bit of work with you. He has a show special that's going to be happening there at the conference. I'll be talking more about it as we're leading up to it, but you'll want to be sure to look for his stuff as well. That's Mike Shirtliff if you want to kind of ask around if you haven't seen his booth yet. He's only been to one other conference that we've done, and that was at the Sandy conference. So if you got a chance to meet him, you already know what I'm talking about. You'll want to for sure check that out. As far as the schedule goes for this particular conference, we do have some really exciting things that are coming up. Things that are brand new that we've never had before, things that we've had people asking us about for a long time that we haven't been able to have that connection made, but now it is. And so I want you guys to be able to find out about all the speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link down here in the comments if you're like just curious to see who else is going to be there as well. I have somebody asking if there's going to be any discounts at the local motels. The Hampton Inn is closest to the conference center. So if you're coming in from out of state and you need to stay at a local place, that one is a pretty decent one. However, I would recommend the Hilton Garden Inn. Yes, it's about a block away. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if you are looking for a space, the Hilton Garden Inn, and yes, I'm supposed to be getting a link. Soon as we have it, we're going to email it out to everyone who's registered for that conference, including speakers, vendors, attendees, VIP, volunteers. Everyone will get that link. If you don't need it, it's not a big deal, but that way you can get in on that special. Okay, now this link that I just put up here for the speakers, when you click on that link, it's going to take you to a page that has all of our speakers with their pictures, their bios. You can read about them, learn about who they are, and then you can also find out about their classes. The other class that I'm going to be doing is called Basics of Energy Healing. I want to share with you a couple of things about how this particular class has evolved over the years. When I very first started doing this class, my understanding of energy healing was actually quite limited. I had only read a few books. I had only attended a few classes and gotten certified in a few things. I just knew how powerful energy healing was and how much it had helped my family. That's why I felt such a commitment to doing the conferences and to getting the word out there. We've been doing these conferences a long time now. A long time. We've been doing retreats for over 10 years. And these conferences, the very first conference that we did was actually in Ogden, Utah back in 2014. And we had 1,400 people sign up and attend that particular conference. And who was there? Like, was there anybody that's on right now that was there? It was packed. I was homeschooling. I was pregnant with my 8th baby. I was homeschooling all of my other 7 kids. And I had no employees. People are like, how did you do that? I'm like, I have no clue. I heavily relied upon volunteers to attend that day and help me. But I was definitely in over my head. I did not know what I was doing. Now, fast forward, yes, I still make mistakes. I'm a very human person, right? But this class is the class that I wish that I would have started with. We're going to go over some basic glossary definitions for those of you who are like, I have no idea about energy healing. But basically, if you're in your first 0 to 3 years, this particular class is going to be phenomenal for you. And it comes from a point of view that is very universal. So it doesn't matter if you belong to a certain dynamic of faith or if you consider yourself more agnostic, it's for everyone. I speak in a very universal and accepting way of all people. Because energy is intelligent and it's for everyone. So I want to just share that. I also would like to offer a couple of opportunities for you that are watching right now. If you would like to sign up, if you'd like to participate in an energy healing for beginners class, I have a few spots right now that are open. Now we did our first class of the energy healing for beginners. We do it online, right? We did our very first one last Tuesday, so a few days ago. It's all recorded, so you can go ahead and watch that 1-hour recording and then just jump right into our class. I'm going to go ahead and put the link up here across the screen. It's $37. If you can't get in on this one or you'd like to join in another one, that's totally fine. The next one we'll be doing will start in March. I have taught thousands of people the basics of energy healing. And I have been so grateful to be able to do that because This information has absolutely changed my life and has helped support and empower many other people. Just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that we cover inside of the Energy Healing for Beginners class, it's covered over a 7-week period. It's for people who are beginners, of course, but then it's for people who are also wanting to go back to the basics as well. But it's to help you to be able to gain an awareness and an insight and an understanding into the world of energy anatomy. Now being on the board for the NCCOEP, which stands for the National Center of Certification of Energy Practitioners, I've aligned myself with people who are physicists, people who are physicians themselves, but who also practice Reiki in their everyday practice. All different types of people who are professionals, scientists, and who really care about the empirical research. I have access to over 15,000 articles. So if you have questions about certain modalities, if you have questions about the efficacy or the legalities, these kind of things, like this is one of the things I've really allowed myself to dive into. So this is a groundbreaking class, even though it seems like it's very simple. It's for beginners. There's going to be a lot of information that's covered, especially for those of you who really like the research. All of the resources you'll have access to. We'll also be doing things hands-on right in class. If you've participated in this class, please feel free to comment and you can let people know. My agenda behind my agenda, my goal, my objective, my reason why I really like this class is because I feel like it helps people to learn about mindfulness, meditation, and also being able to trust themselves. So if you've ever felt like you couldn't trust your intuition or you wanted to be able to understand how to do that better, this is one of those classes that, I mean, I'm the mentor, I'm the facilitator of this class, and that's my goal for that. So I'd like to go ahead and do a giveaway for that. I had said before that I wanted to do a giveaway for people who shared. So I'm going to go in and see who shared this video. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose somebody who shared. I'm just going to go ahead and randomly choose somebody who shared the video for a private one-on-one session, and also to be able to participate in the Energy Healing for Beginners course. By the way, that's all done on Zoom, all done online. You don't have to be there in person. If you'd like to watch the replays only, or have a kind of a hands-off approach for it, that's okay too. I'm not one of those mentors that's like, you have to be on the video and you have to be in person, or I'm not letting you in the next time or whatever. I'm really chillax. So that's one of the classes that I would like to do as a giveaway. So thank you for letting me talk about that right now. The other opportunity that I want to give is a discounted scholarship for a business practitioner. So if you know of an energy healing professional or somebody who's just getting started, maybe they've just gotten their feet wet or they just got trained and certified and they're ready to go, this class is really pretty incredible. It is for professionals who would like to be able to help more people. So it's about getting in front of people who might need their help. I remember when I very first graduated from my Foot Zone course back in 2013, that feels like forever ago now. I paid over $4,000 in the classes that I had taken and to get the materials that I needed to get started and the books and, you know, the salve and all of those kind of things. And then I still needed clients, you know, I still was like looking around like, now who am I going to zone kind of thing, you know? And this was before I started doing the conferences, by the way. And so because I have found myself in that situation and definitely done so on a budget, I have felt the call to also help energy professionals as well. People who, whether you're a Foot Zone practitioner or a professional reflexologist or a massage therapist. We have people who do hypnotherapy in those classes, all different types of professionals. I would love to invite you to join in with me. Again, we started on January 10th. This one is a 10-week class though, and it does every single week. It's on sale right now for only $99, but I would like to do a discounted scholarship for one participant. So how you enter this particular one is you're going to actually go ahead and email me. This is my email, and you can let me know that you're interested in the discounted scholarship. This one is going to be given away this weekend. So if you're watching this live or on the replay, if it's on the replay this weekend, meaning January, what's today? The 13th. So 13th, 14th, and 15th, I will be announcing the winner on the 15th. So watch for that. And that's how you enter. So, all right. Thank you guys for being here. It was so fun to do a Facebook Live again. We'll be back next Friday and we'll see you then. Thanks, everyone. See ya.